Hey everyone, Gyro here with another video. The recent release of the System Shock remake really reminded me of how much I liked Prey back in 2017. So I decided to give it a shot on my SteamDeck, and to my surprise, not only is it still an amazing game, but it also runs super well on the Steam Deck. And what surprised me even more was that the developers apparently took the time after the Steam Deck came out to integrate the game's settings into Steam input. You know, usually when I make my gyro input videos, I usually have to tell you guys like what the in-game mouse sensitivity has to be in order to get the correct sensitivity and speed for the gyro as I intended. And that's because it's, you know, Steam input is basically a layer that sits on top of the game that basically tells the game like, hey, this controller is actually a mouse, pretend, or at least, you know, the gyro and the thumbstick portion are a mouse, pretend that, you know, you're receiving mouse input instead of controller input. Well, what Arkane did is that they actually took the time to use Steam Input's API so that when you change settings in the game, actually it's all done through Steam Input, meaning that if I change a button in the settings, well, actually not in the settings, but in Steam Input, it changes the prompts in the game. And I wish more developers actually did this. And what's even cooler is that the gyro section is actually integrated into the game as well. You don't have to set a sensitivity in the game and in Steam Input. The only thing you have to worry about is setting your sensitivity as you like it in Steam Input itself, which suggests that the game is directly interfacing with Steam Input to receive its gyro control. So that's really fucking cool. And yeah, I just wanted to check this game out with you guys because it's such an amazing game. If you haven't played it, I can highly recommend it. There we go. So, yeah, this game is like BioShock, System Shock, what's the other one? Deus Ex, which I really enjoyed. And I have to say, like, I actually played this first out of all the first-person sim games, and I'm happy I did because it actually made me more tolerant of the more archaic game design of those older sim games, especially Deus Ex. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to get accustomed to that game if I hadn't played this prior. The reason being is that this game is, you know, in terms of interactivity, like, just as deep, if not deeper than that game, but it also has a lot of sort of modern quality of life features that are very welcome for a game like this. Like, if there's anything inside of one of these drawers, it will immediately show you what's inside. You don't have to go into a menu, stuff like that. Like, I think that really works. But yeah, this game runs so amazingly well. It's kind of crazy. In my estimation, it runs like well above 60 most of the time, so more like in the 80-90 range. There are only a few areas where the game like really struggles to maintain 60, but I've not seen it go below 40 or below 50, I mean. So that's still really good, and even when it does dip below 60, the input lag is still very manageable. It's almost not noticeable at all. This is also one of the prettier areas in the game, in my opinion. This is like the living and recreational quarters of the people on this space station. I'm not going to tell too much about the storyline if you haven't played this game. It's not an amazing story in terms of like how it all, I don't know, like how it all ends, but the storytelling in the game itself, which is to a large part environmental, is actually really, really great. Like, you really feel like shit went down on this space station. You'll find like people, corpses laying around, like people leaving notes, trying to contact loved ones on Earth. And you can, like, if you pay attention in the environment, you can actually sort of piece together what may have happened to those people right before their death. Earlier, I ran into like a back room where people had locked themselves in and they were both shot, but the implication was that they had basically voluntarily killed themselves. Like, you know, one person shot one and then themselves. So yeah, I think that kind of attention to detail like really adds to the believability of a game like this. Even if you have played this game before, I would play it again, especially in the deck. Like, man, it's almost like it was made for it. It's so good. Okay. I think I'm about to meet the most trustworthy cook ever in a second. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to save these guys, but I actually don't remember how. So these are people who are mind controlled by an enemy up in the restaurant area. They're unconscious. Okay, maybe this is the way.
Others here or not? Shoot first before they get close. They're puppets. Bombs.
So if you don't save these people, it can affect the ending of the game, but you don't know that when you first play it. As far as you're concerned, they're just enemies.
Maybe we talk.
But yeah, you can also shoot their heads off. I'll get into my Steam input settings in a sec, because as much praise as I gave the game devs for integrating the game's control settings into Steam input itself, the actual layout that comes with by default is actually kind of weird. There are a lot of buttons that, in my opinion, don't make a lot of sense. Like the Y button was assigned to flashlight, stuff like that. Like I changed all that. Like this just switches your weapons in like last used weapon, I believe. And then if you hold the Y button, you go into your weapon wheel and you can use the left stick to select whatever weapon it is that you want to select. So yeah, same with like, oh, 1 second, the telepath here. So yeah, I made a lot of improvements that like make the game feel a little bit more modern. I'm also playing on a relatively high sensitivity here, but I will share later in the video basically everything, how I set it up, and you know, how you can tweak it to your liking. I forgot what this telepath is like actually weak against. Oh shit, he's up there. Oh boy, gotta run. Let's see. I love gyro aim. There we go.
Kill a few of your puppets. Now you join them. You. Come to kitchen window. Let me see you.
Alrighty. Shut up.
Your suit. What is in your name tag? You? M.U.? M.U. You killed this yourself. Ah. If you want to come in, be safe. You go. Get something of mine, huh?
Yeah.
Here, key. It opens my room.
Gracias.
Go there. Get my award. It's important to me. Then
Will Mitchell's
maybe
cabin.
we talk.
Maybe. My character doesn't speak. And you actually find out later in the game why, but I'm not going to spoil that. What a nice fellow. Seems perfectly trustworthy. Let's just see. This is another thing I really like about these sort of sim games, where it's really not about like rushing to the finish line. Like you get the most mileage out of this kind of experience by really taking your time in each room, like looking at everything, trying to find like which cupboards and stuff you can interact with. And I really like the slower pace, especially nowadays. You know, I still play like some of the more frantic multiplayer shooters every now and then, but I've really come to enjoy like a more like slow-paced single-player experience. But unfortunately, a lot of single-player experiences nowadays are too easy, and they have a surprising lack of interactivity. And you know, this is where a game like this like really shines. Like, I love the fact that like almost every object in the game is physics-based. Like, I really don't understand why more games don't do that. You know, besides it, you know, having a function in some of these games, like my character is spec'd out so that it has enough force to use it as a weapon. But even if it doesn't have a function, it just grounds the game world that much more, you know? And I really enjoy that kind of stuff. So yeah. So this guy gave us a key card, and we have to go to his cabin. So yeah, my character build is not using any psi powers, psi abilities, so you can basically adopt the skill set or the skills from the aliens that you encounter, like turning yourself into objects to hide, or manipulating objects, like, you know, sort of force pulling them towards you, stuff like that. Which is really fun, but for this playthrough, I'm basically sticking to my guns, literally. Okay, not gonna lie, I got a bit lost there. Or, well, not lost, disoriented. Here we go.
Don't worry about power, flickering.
Okay, that actually startled me.
The station is just hurting. Keep going.
Yes, sir, most trustworthy person I've ever met. Groovy.
What the hell did you do to that thing, Mitchell? Sounds like an anti-waffle commercial.
Well, I didn't see it as an override per se. It was just the operator's conversation sequencer. They're usually so grim.
Do you know how many security
Interesting.
protocols you broke?
Well, Mitchell
Morgan
used to have a
said it was
mustache
all right.
and was bald
Even helped me.
and didn't have a thick Eastern European English accent.
You sound like you could use a healthy dose of sunburst banana pudding.
This is an AB conversation skillet.
Apologies, Chef. I'll see my way out.
Okay, let's see what's on this computer. Oh, come on. And okay, there we go. Well, sorry to contact you during your downtime, but Alex has been working through the 4 o'clock shift and has put in a food request on the front desk. He says you know what he likes. Could you bring his meal to Executive Suite? The code for the graph shaft is 2265. I think I already opened the graph shaft by hacking it, if I'm not mistaken. That's the nice thing about these games. If you're not familiar with this style of game, it's basically a sandbox, but it's much more compartmentalized than, say, something like GTA 5 or Far Cry. And as a result, the devs spend a lot of time, crafting the different ways in which players can retrieve or accomplish the same objectives. And it's actually interesting because I don't remember so much from my first playthrough of this game, but what I do remember was that the order in which I played this game, the order in which I unlocked new areas in the game world and progressed the story, was actually quite different the first time around. There was one area, which I forget the name of now, but where there's no oxygen in the air. You have to wear like a protective helmet. I actually did that as one of the first areas in the game during the first playthrough. This time around, it's like, I mean, I'm not close to finishing the game, but I went to this area way later, having, completely different gear and abilities, and it really changes how the game plays out and how you interact with the puzzles and the game world, etc. And yeah, I think that's, again, one of the strong suits of this type of video game. All right, here you go.
You found something? Have to let you in. Promise.
Yes.
Go around. The side entrance.
Yes, sir. This, somebody spilled some ketchup.
Wait! A minute.
Hey, dude, somebody spilled some ketchup on the floor
You're
here.
safe now. The beasts, they cannot get in. But
Oh, what's this?
look at this. We have food, but no water. This pressure regulator, it is broken.
There you go, my friend.
You fix? Smart one. Here.
Thank you, I
open
tried.
freezer now, like I promised. Lots of dead puppets and supplies.
Let me first rate your kitchen, Gordon Ramsay. Shut up.
When puppets can get in, explode like bombs. Oh, the beast lays eggs in their head, make them explode.
Hello? Now that wasn't very nice.
Transdown piece of junk. Are you awake, MU? Frozen dead, maybe? I take puppet's toy screen. I see all the names in the list. Your name, too. Means you listen from now on. I know who you are. MU. Daughter of William U. William. Transtar. Always playing with lives.
Oh, there's food here.
Maybe I watch these beasts eat you. Like you tried to feed me to them.
Too much stuff
or
with me.
cold kills you first. Make you into a frozen puppet.
Man, this guy's obsession with puppets.
Abby, I'm still in deep storage. I don't know why you won't pick up. I hope you're safe. If things get bad, I'll jettison a data vault and spacewalk along the hull. Come to the fitness center and bang on the window by the pool. I should feel the vibration. And Abby,
Sure,
please
you will
don't
feel the
take any
vibration,
chances,
honey.
all right? Be safe.
Yeah, about that. Okay, let me fix my suit first. Jeez Louise. An excess of suit repair kits. Yeah, I gotta start fabricating this stuff. Hey man, you accidentally locked me in your freezer. Dude? Oh well. Oh, he's nice enough to leave me some food at least. Shit, this is just a fabrication unit. I can wait. Don't need to fabricate much now. Whoa! It was just a booby trap, piece of shit.
MU, you're still alive. Good. We learned to make mines in Ukraine from recycling Transstar junk.
Lol, he's a
Wanted
Ukrainian.
to share knowledge with you.
I actually have no idea what hacking turrets actually does, but I mean, whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna put you over here.
Operator Kelly at your service.
Okay, I gotta fix my suit again. There we go. Center window. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's see if those vibrations are working.
Morgan? If you're here, then Abby didn't make it, did she?
Guess not.
I don't... Nothing more that I can do for you right now. But look, be careful. There's someone else in crew quarters pretending to be the cook.
Oh, really?
His tracking bracelet's from Psychotronics, but the ID doesn't make any sense. I think he's the one that killed Abby. If you can, make sure he doesn't get off the station. I'll see what else I can do to help from out here. For as long as I can. Goodbye, Morgan.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of sad. I have a shit ton of neuromods I'm not using. Alright. Well, let's just start using them neuromods, I guess. Do I want to be able to lift more? Don't think so. More mobility. I don't want to get too OP. I guess more health could be nice. Increasing stamina could be nice. Combat focus. Well, gunsmith is going to come in handy. I think the glue gun as well. Oh, I'm already out of neuromods now. Okay. Yep, I think that looks good. Okay, I gotta get rid of some of these items that I'm carrying. Let's see here. Yeah, so the crafting in this game, I have to say, also is really satisfying. There we go. I think I have some items that I can get rid of that I don't need, like this one, this one, this one, another one of these. This one isn't upgraded either, right? No. All right. Oh, I have an extra shotgun, it seems. So I have to make sure that I'm not fabricating the ones I've upgraded. Nice. All right, let's get this elevator working. Okay, so I have to find something in Alex's suite, who's your brother in this game, by the way. What am I looking for again? Yes, I am in Alex's room. Let's see what my objectives say. Search Alex's room for the escape pod key. Okay. So, let's see. Where could it be hidden? Oh, there's something in here. Okay. I was in this room earlier. I didn't pay attention to the objective. But I'm wondering what I missed. If I was a fat bastard who has like some shady motivations, where would I put my key? Hello, family. go. I think you actually, if I were to do that, you actually enter a fail state because you're not supposed to leave the station just yet, even though you can. Which is, I mean, a bit redundant, but I do like it as a detail, to be honest. I think I've had every other room for now, so let me just check some of the suites. Cool. Does this work? No, doesn't seem like it. Bag of candy. Somebody likes their video games. Romod. Okay, don't think I have the password for that, so let's hack it. Not gonna lie, hacking's quite easy. I don't know what that is.
Danielle? Had a meeting with the great Alex Yu today. He gave me one of his bullshit I'm sorries with no resolution. Between him and Morgan, it's like a tradition. The Yu family's sorry.
Was it as insincere as a Danielle show apology?
No.
Danielle, I'm not saying work with him is easy, but
Did you just compare me to him? To that arrogant sack of shit?
Danielle, this has to stop.
You're right. Get out. We're done.
Danielle!
I said get out.
Oof. Trouble in paradise. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, wrong way. I think it's this way. This wasn't here before. All right. Well, I think I'm going to continue on a little bit longer, and then I'm going to show you guys my my settings for the game and what I think makes the game play the best. What are you doing here, guys? Did he say fuck you? Oh boy. I don't think so. Fell to the floor. Get away. You have to steer clear of the blast radius there. Oh, mimic? Where? Ooh. Holy fuck! That's a dangerous one. Try this again. Holy shit.
Good afternoon, Talos. In the event of a loss of atmosphere, with gravity or other serious emergency, please report.
So yeah, actually now that I'm at it, double tapping the left trigger brings up the psychoscope, so it doesn't take up another button if it doesn't have to. And by keeping it pressed, it actually slows your character's aim and starts to walk instead of run, like a sort of ADS type feature, which I think is really nice. Now I have to deal with these assholes. really careful with the big boy. Don't know where he is. Oh, he's right behind me. Fuck. Yeah, there he is. Fuck, I gotta get out of here. Oof. Okay, this is not where I'm supposed to be, because I think that goes to the lobby. That's the escape pod. That is what I shouldn't be doing. Deep storage. I think that's where I have to go. Okay, I'm just gonna risk it. Holy shit. Holy crap, they're everywhere. Yes, this is where I have to be. Well, I think it's the end of the line for us, but let me go. Oh, fuck, he can follow me. God, there are so many of them. There we go. Alright, about the controls. So as I mentioned earlier, the left trigger actually brings up your psychoscope. Oh my god. Are we done? I hope so. Alright. Finally. Okay, like I said, the left trigger brings up your psychoscope by double pressing, and just holding it pressed will make it so that your character walks and slows down both their aim and the gyro. So it's basically like a fake ADS feature. The right trigger click will make your character crouch. I've made it so that the idea is that in your quick inventory, your wrench is always on the D-pad down, and so the B button and the lower right button on the back of the SteamDeck both immediately go to the wrench, basically functioning as a melee button. Like you're used to in other first-person shooters, usually it's assigned to that one. You can switch between your previous two weapons with the Y button or the lower right back button, and by holding either one of those pressed, you can actually go through your weapon wheel. The game also slows down, I think, quite a bit to allow you to select it. What else do I have? Well, this is, I think, default. This is leaning at the shoulder buttons. What did I do here? Yeah, I don't think I'm using these, actually, because they just don't come in handy that much. Yeah, and that's about it. As far as the game settings are concerned, let me go through that really quickly. I didn't touch much, and that has to do with the fact that the devs were nice enough to actually integrate Steam input into the game itself. So I don't really have to show you any of those settings, I suppose. If you just follow my my layout, then you should be good to go. And yeah, I did use some custom specs for the graphics, but it's basically all set to high. Well, some of it to medium. There we go. FOV 120. I just can't play any other way, but you're welcome to make it lower if you want, obviously. Quickly going into the settings here. So just look for this layout in the community settings. I think there might be a V4 by the time I'm publishing this, because I've actually made changes to this version, so I'm just going to call it V4. Now the Hisense version makes it so that half a turn with your SteamDeck, like all the way around, makes your character turn 6 times in the game world. So that's basically 1 to 12 if you consider it a full 360 turn. That's quite high, I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to get used to this, but I also have lower sensitivity settings, a low setting that will be exactly half, so half a turn will be 3 turns in the game world, and a medium setting that sits in between 3 and 6. So see what works for you. If you feel that the settings are still too high for you, that's not a problem. You can change that quite quickly by going into the gyro aim settings right here, and you can just lower this value, and that's it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Again, this is one of the best games I've played on the Steam Deck so far, and it's just one of the best games, period, to play on Steam. So I can highly recommend checking this one out if you haven't. And also, even if you don't own a PC, I think this game is also available on PlayStation 4 and 5, or on Xbox Series X and S. So even on those platforms, you might not get the gyro benefit in them, but check it out because it's pretty awesome.